Good day all. So I've been away for a little while. It's probably been about a month since I put up a video, so I thought I would put one up now. Today we're going to look at the first 3 Region 1 Doctor Who releases. And we're back. So I guess with a little bit of background on these, it's actually a pretty big deal when it was first announced back in 2001 that the Doctor Who DVD collection was slowly going to be coming to Region 1. It had already been out in Region 2 for some time. The earliest one was the 5 Doctors back in 2000. And back then, TV on DVD was not anywhere near as common as it was right now. In fact, one of the only shows that had been available at the time was The X-Files, and a handful of others, but the whole everything coming out, all TV shows coming out on DVD had not started. That was still a few years away. So when these came out, it was pretty, most of us Doctor Who fans are pretty excited. Unfortunately, though, the date that Doctor Who launched on DVD in Region 1 was September 11, 2001. So obviously at that point, the whole impact of the excitement had pretty much died off, and obviously the release of these became a non-event because of the other events that day. But today we'll take a look at the first 3 that came out. So the first one, Robots of Death, and this was actually the first one that I also bought on DVD. I didn't buy them on the 11th, actually. It was the weekend following that, so like the 17th or something. Future Shop store that I used to work at, so I went in, picked it up on a Saturday. This was something like $35. And another thing that you might notice different from the current DVDs is the early Doctor Who DVDs were pretty, well, lacking in extras. Now they probably, for extras, it's probably one of the biggest series out there for that, but back then, well, it was actually fairly commonplace. DVD extras, even for major motion pictures, were pretty few and far between back then. We have model tests for this one and a commentary and the old Who's Who. Some people might remember seeing those in some of the earlier releases, which was only a R1 sort of thing. It just kind of gave the background of various actors and whatnot that appeared in the stories. But anyway, so Robots of Death was also one of the most wanted. And actually, when these DVDs came out, and actually I don't have any copies of them anymore, but there was also sort of a little voting card that came with them where you could vote for the releases that you most wanted, which were used for some of the earlier releases. But that's since been abandoned years ago. Second one that came out, Spearhead from Space, John Pertwee's first episode. This is probably one of my weirder Christmas traditions. The only time I ever watch this is the week before Christmas. And I guess the reason for that is the first time I actually saw it was Christmas 1990, like it was December 22nd. So yeah, I don't know, for some reason this ended up being caught up in my Christmas time viewing, but still one of the all-time favorites. The first color episode, and the only episode to be shot entirely on film before, obviously, the TV movie, which will probably never be available on R1, but that's another story altogether. Once again, fairly limited document or special features, but it's got the I can't even talk tonight. Unit recruitment film and various trailers and whatnot, so a little bit more in the first one. And then the 5 Doctors Special Edition, which was actually the first release to come out in R2, and for years people bitched about this one because it's actually the special edition that was made in 1995, and at least I think it was 95. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it was 95. But yeah, for years people were bitching about it because this was the only one that was out there. It was never really, a lot of people didn't even consider it part of the actual series. Special features on this one are also limited. So what eventually happened is this is one of the, actually of the original series, this is one of only 2 that I own 2 different versions of. This came out in 2008 in Region 1. This was the revamped 5 Doctors 25th Anniversary Edition. This has actually got both versions, the original and the revamped version. And of course, this one being several years later, this is a pretty good comparison of what the extras are like on the typical Doctor Who release now as to what they were way back in 2001. but I've kept both of them, and I guess some people don't like it for the fact that the spine on this one doesn't match up with others, but I don't really care that much. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, short video. I figured it's been a month, so I should shoot something. This is one of the videos I've been planning on doing for a while. Mainly, well, we've been tearing apart the house, so the house is a disaster, and kind of like gutted at the moment. My office is actually the only thing that isn't a disaster right now. And well, I got married last week too, so yeah, I've been busy with that and stuff. But no, I am definitely now back, and that's the dogs in the background. And there'll be a lot more videos to come. Up next, a non-DVD video, but one that'll be interesting, chronicling the renovation nightmare of our house. Going back the past year. It's going to have some pieces of video that I did earlier, plus some newer stuff. But anyways, that's all I have, well, for right now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. Take care.